Hello everyone, and welcome to FRL Season 3, coming to you from the beautiful hills of the Steiermark in Austria. We are in Spielberg here. I'm Chaos, your commentator for tonight, and we've got 16 drivers who are going to be lining up on the grid tonight. We've got Raro, we've got Fiji Domo, who's currently going by the name Merc W11, Flex, Taylor Funk, Red Baron, Balzac and Brother John, Dubman himself. Sheer Insanity is returning after an absence, and we're very excited to see what he can do. Luke Brax, also here after a few races out. T. Goldie, Camborn, Nameless Nate, Jayul Patel, who's going to be heading off for a bit, but we're going to be enjoying his presence while he's still here. Ian Brax, and Kenny LaFleur. There we go. I was wondering where the audio was there. There we have it. We're on board here with Taylor Funk, as he's on his outlap, going to be setting one of the first laps of this session. Alright, carrying all the speed he can through turn 1, Taylor Funk, now making his way down the second straight towards turn 2. There's that gentle curve uphill, and then just past 100, brake, down into second gear, little bit of a rough line there. But the power is back on, and it's all about getting the power delivery on for the third straight here as we come up towards turn 3. Late braking at about 70. Cutting the inside and then making his way around. He's coming up on a McLaren. Hopefully the McLaren is able to get out of the way. Oh dear. Oh no. Balzac's in the way and Taylor loses his lap. We come now to Raro, who's coming in just where Taylor is. Oh wait, this is still an outlap for him. Alright, let's ride with Dubman. There we go, nice line through turn 2. And now getting that power delivery. There we go. And then that steady power as wide as he can, and then late braking, cutting tight, but not too tight, and then flying wide. Now through 5th gear. And then the power down, making his way along this little hill. It's still clean. Braking just past 50. Really tight. A bit of a slide, but he holds it. And coming in now into the final corners. Goes wide, but not too wide. And here we go. This is a nice looking lap for Dubman himself, who sets himself 3rd place with a 1:05.1, just behind Flex and Luke Brack. Riding on board now with Red Baron, who's going to be setting his first lap. This appears to be an outlap, actually, so this is not quite it yet. Instead, let's come around to Brother John, who's just finishing off his lap, and he's going to go P7 just behind Balzac with a 1:05.8. Best time remains Luke Brax with a 1:04.702. T. Goldie coming in. A little bit wide through the final corner. And T. Goldie's able to push himself up into P3. Oh, looks like Red Baron lost it on his lap. That's unfortunate, just out of turn 1. Alright, Sheer making sure he's got some space. And then coming around, this is Sheer Insanity, who we know has been a real strong competitor here. He's brought the fight to Flex before. He's been very strong in qualifying. Oh, no. Loses the lap there. He's going to have to come in for another. Let's go to Nameless Nate, who's on an out lap right now. And here we go. Tires are heated up, mediums are on. And here's the full deploy as he sets his way down, starting straight. Braking late. Tight. Ooh, that's a cut. That is a cut, and Nameless Nate is not going to set a time on this lap. A little wide for Kenny. That's not going to be a good lap for him. Let's go on board with Dubman. Heading out to set another lap, working to improve on that 105.13 that currently has him in 5th place behind Luke Flex, T Goldie, and Ian Braggs. Here we go. Cutting the apex, keeping it in 3rd gear. And now making his way down. This course is so much about that power delivery out of turn 2. It's a make or break moment for these drivers. And here as well, a lot of acceleration while steering, and then bleeding off speed here, but then putting the power back on through this lower section under the pole. Slow, and then the power delivery, you don't want to go up on that inside edge too much. Ooh, that was a little bit dangerous, but the game does not call that a corner cut. Oh, it looks like he might be... Oh yeah, this is not going to be a lap that he is setting. Oh, interesting. Have a look at this. The Alpines are out together. Is Luke perhaps going to give Ian a tow or vice versa? Well, first, let's see Sheer Insanity just finishing up his lap as he comes around the final corners here. His time is going to be a 105 something. It's a 105.091, and that is enough to pip Dubman for 5th place. Here we go, the Alpine's coming around. It is Ian Braggs pursued by Luke. They looked extremely strong in the preseason, and whenever they show up, they do deliver. Oh, and that's Luke Braggs' lap lost, though. He went wide through turn 1. Ian, however, is still clean. So let's ride on board with Ian, who can still improve on his 104.999. There's a purple set through Sector 1. The DRS is open, and Ian is cruising his way. He's on the soft tires right now. So he's shooting for a pole here. Right now his brother Luke has the lap. Flex is close though. Flex is always a threat. Never to be underestimated. Thought that was Flex for a moment, but it was Camborne who was down the inside. Unfortunately, as I look away for a moment, Ian Braggs has had his lap disallowed for going wide in early Sector 3. Alright, J.O. Patel, currently the lowest ranked driver who has set a time with a 106.6. He's going to want to improve on that. He's currently racing on the mediums. He wants to start on the medium tires. It's always a tricky thing. If he can't get into the top 10, there's really no purpose for qualifying on the mediums. But if he can get himself up into 6th or 7th or something like that, it could definitely pay off. There's a lot to be said for removing yourself from some of the carnage, and you're only at a greater risk when you're further and further back. 7 cars out on track right now. As J.O. Patel makes his way around, 101, 2, 3, 4. He's going to be right around a 5, 5, 6. And J. Patel is ahead of Red Baron, but that's the only position that he has gained there. Alright, the brothers Brax are at it again. They're going for a tow strategy here. So Flex has been able to set a faster lap, critically, as we come on board and just watch Flex making his way in. So let's look at his competitors now. Luke is currently 2/10 off of the time set by Flex, and he has got a draft off of Ian Brax here. Of course, cars will have full access to DRS, but still, a little bit of cut air is going to be useful. However, he doesn't want to get too close here. I'm not certain if this is the course you're going to want. Oh, hang on. This is an outlap. This is not a fast lap. Alright, Raro making his way around for the conclusion of a lap here with 6 minutes 30 left in qualifying. He's got a 105.1 right now, and he improves to a 104.8, and look at the difference that 2.5 tenths can make. He bumps himself all the way up to third place. A very nice qualifying time for Raro. Maybe he can improve even further on it. Just behind, Camborne is coming out. But this is an outlap. Red Baron also on an outlap. Balzac, there we go! A 104.778. And the McLaren driver, who is now racing without racing line, sets himself third in qualifying with 5.5 minutes to go. Alright, here comes JL Patel. Oh wait, no, that's an in-lap. Alright, Camborne. Going to set a lap here now. He's currently P12 with 105.4. Alright, Fiji, I'll be sending you an invite right now. Ah, good. Glad you got your invite. Oh, and Camborne goes a little bit wide on the exit, and that is going to be trouble. Ooh, and that's a little bit of a compromised line there for Kenny. But it's enough to push him up into 7th place. Kenny Leclerc, of course, one of our championship protagonists this year. Sheer Sanity comes through, and he's P3. Alright, here we go. We've got Luke Brax leading Ian Brax this time, as Sheer gets out of the way. Luke currently with 104.5, and it looks like Dubman has spun out. He's not going to be going any faster this lap, and he might be running out of time altogether. And I love these power corners here. You stay close, you don't want to go onto the curb. It can be very punishing. There's a purple sector for Luke Brax. Things are looking good for S2. Loses a bit of speed in that penultimate corner. A little bit of rotation there. Power down 104, and it is a 104. He improves by only 11 thousandths, but Ian Brax is able to pull himself up into P4 just behind Sheer Insanity and ahead of Balzac. But Balzac is not done yet. He's going to be sitting one more lap here. T Goldie coming around. He's got a 104.9, and he cuts the corner. Nameless Saint, lap is disallowed. Alright, and Fiji, who still needs to set a time. Coming around. 105.6 in order to make himself better than last, and there he is. He is P14, just ahead of Red Baron, just behind Camborne, who, very interestingly, is quite low in qualifying status right now. He's going to have one chance to put himself near the front. Camborne, of course, is a big contender this season. He has just one victory and one podium to his name, but he's third in the championship, with 96 points to 106 for Kenny LaFleur in second, and 122 for Flex. Flex was on a huge charge of 5 straight podiums, including 4 straight wins and fastest laps to boot in 3 of them. But then he's only scored 1 point in the last 2 races, not being able to appear from Portugal, and then having a disconnection that saw his AI-controlled car reduced down to 10th place and a single point in France. Alright, here we go. The pressure is on for Camborne. And it looks like Luke Brax is not going to be going any faster, so it's up to Cam. What can he do to upset this leading group? Power delivery. No spins or anything of the sort. Neat and tidy. Braking just before the 50. Getting in, nice trail braking into the corner. Power delivery down this corner, you get more and more confident. The faster you're going as your downforce really starts to work. A little wide through the corner here, Nameless Ace on the inside, but not in the way at all. Oh, tight line there for Cam. That's going to cost him a few tenths. You lose it a little bit on that inside curb. He's delivering all the grunt that he can possibly get. A nice tight line through the penultimate corner here, making his way down through the bottom, and as he straightens it out, here we go, 103, 104, and that is going to put Camborne up into 6th place, splitting Balzac and Raro. Now all we have left is Dubman himself, who is on a lap to move himself up into the top 10. He is currently sitting P11, just 15 thousandths off of the back of Nameless Nate, currently in 10th. Throws himself to the inside. He keeps the lap legal. Is as wide as he dares and keeps it on the asphalt. This is looking positive, and Dubman pushes himself up into 8th place. But maybe that's a little bit of a win for Nameless Nate, who is going to then have free choice of tires. Also, very fast Sector 3 there for Dubman. And if I'm not mistaken, that is now every single driver's laps. We have Flex, Sheer, Insanity, Luke Brax, and Ian Brax in 4th place there. So there you have it. Flex, Sheer Insanity, 2nd place. We know that he's an excellent qualifier. He's struggled with reliability in the races, but he has pace. He's one of the guys who has a chance to really take it to Flex here. Luke Brax and Ian Brax, 3rd and 4th. Balzac, 5th place, his best qualifying since starting his new no racing line setup. Camborne, Roro, Dubman, T Goldie, Kenny, Nameless Nate Patel, Taylor Front, Brother John, Fiji, Red Baron, And that is our grid for the Austrian Grand Prix. PLO, quite correct in pointing out how close it is. It's tight, but of course, this is a track with tight margins. It's a very fast, very short track, with a shorter lap time than any other Course 3 race all season. So there is going to be regular safety car this race, and as well, there is going to be a formation lap, which throws off the spectating camera just for a little bit at the start, but we can deal with that. So once again, our championship standings. We have Flex leading with 122 points. Kenny LaFleur at 106 and Cam Bourne at 96. Prestige is 30 points back at 66 points, just narrowly leading RFX Rafa. But Rafa is not here to defend his position tonight, so he's going to have Raro nipping at his heels at 61 points. El Sucio Dan also not here tonight. He is the reigning champion, and he has had some great results, 3 podiums and 4 starts of the starts that were allowed. It gets 1 win better if you include the race which was dropped, of which we shall not speak. Azerbaijan. And then we got Luke Brax in 8th with 54 points, Balzac in 9th with 48, and Sheer Insanity, who has looked so promising through this year, but he's missed a bunch of races, and he is at 28 points. Ian Brax also looking very strong, but has only been here for 2 races this year, so 18 points. Still averaging 9 points a race. Solid. And the remainder are J.L. Patel and Brother John, tied at 16. Red Baron at 15, having scored 12 of his 15 points just in the last race. Having a really rough start to the season, but he's picking it up now. Nameless Nate at 12 points. Get Dunked with 7 points from 2-point scoring finishes. Get Dunked at 7. T Goldie at 6. Fiji Dumo at 5. Taylor Funk with 3. And of course, Taylor Funk is one of the newcomers to the league. He's just been around for 3 races thus far. Dubman with 2 points. Jaegershot with 1. Although technically that was scored by an AI who was finishing a race for him, but it still counts. And there we have it. That is everyone with a point in this league. So, of the 16 drivers today, I have to think of who I think is going to take this one. I have a ton of faith in Flex. He has just been the standout performer of the season. So I've gotta tip my cap to Flex for taking a win here. Both of the Brax brothers, very good, but sometimes they do have internet issues, and if things can go wrong, they can start falling apart for them. I'm gonna say, perhaps, I'm gonna say Flex. I think Sheer Insanity's gonna have a good race this time, and I think that Kenny LaFleur maybe P4. So I'm gonna say Flex, Sheer, Luke. Alright, and PLL's prediction is Kenny, Flex, Sheer. So it looks like we've got similar thoughts of who the top drivers to be watching here are. Alright. Alright, so here we go. For the formation lap, Flex leading Sheer Insanity ahead of Luke Brax, Ian, Balzac, Camborne, Raro, Dubman, and T Goldie, Kenny LaFleur, Nameless Nathan's Alfa Romeo, J.O. Patel, Kenny's teammate, also in the Red Bull, Taylor Funk, Brother John, Fiji Dummo, going by Merc W11 today, and Red Baron. Alright, let's have a look at the tires, shall we? So, interesting. So, every single driver who is starting 10th and back is on the mediums. Everyone who's in the top 9 is on the softs. So, don't expect to see the guys in the back taking over right at the beginning here. Yeah, PLL. Kenny is the guy to make any starting position work. You almost get the feeling that he likes qualifying low down in the grid. Since he certainly does that often enough. It's honestly very impressive that he is only 16 points off of the championship lead, having, had to fight his way up in basically every single race that he's taken part in. Flex is making his way out onto the grid here. And here we go. He takes his position in the AlphaTauri Honda on pole position with Sheer Insanity's Mercedes right next to him. They're lining up, just waiting for the Red Baron to pull his way into the back. And here we go. The vehicles are in position. Waiting for the lights. Waiting for the lights. Waiting for the lights. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Don't make me sing. Well, this is anticlimactic. Here we go. 5 lights. And we are go. Flex into the lead. And he's holding it. Sheer Insanity getting swallowed up a little bit. He's knocked down into 3rd place as Luke Brax makes up a position. We've got a couple of cars going wide, and we've got Brother John, who has been abandoned on the grid. Brother John is AFK, or possibly has retired. Virtual safety car is out already. And let's have a look at what's happened here. We've got Flex, followed by Luke Brax, Sheer Insanity, Ian Brax, Balzac Camborne, Rawro Dubman, J.O. Patel, Fiji Domo, who is up 5 positions. Very big start from him. Nameless Nate and T. Goldie. Kenny LaFleur, who's down a couple, along with T. Goldie, Red Baron, and Taylor Funk. I do not know what happened to Brother John there. Well, it seems that the virtual safety car has already been ended, so Luke Brax has a big lead here. The big crowd here to look at is this little fight. We've got Balzac leading Rawro and Dubman and Camborne. They're coming in side by side here. Jay, meanwhile, just behind, getting a nice view of this fight. A little bit of desync over there as Dubman suddenly is ahead of J.O. Patel. And this group is making their way down the lead straight. That's Luke, Ian. Here we go. Rawro right behind Camborne as we've got this tight little group here. Flex is pulling out into the lead with Luke Brax chasing him down. Sheer Insanity and Ian Brax leading this second group. Not sure if we could call it a group yet. Ooh, that's very close from Rawro as he pulls right in on the back of Camborne. Rawro does have these red wool soft tires. Further back, I'm not entirely sure if that was some moving positions here, but here we go. J.O. Patel up on the inside of Dubman himself. He pushes him wide but leaves space, and J.O. Patel is able to secure the position. Oh, and Fiji has to lift off there. Cam picks up a warning. Oh, multiple warnings. What happened to him there? Well, it looks like he's still ahead of Rawro, but now Rawro's going to have a run on him here, up the inside. And here we go, side by side, into the corner. Cam is going to have to back out of this, I think. Nope. Rawro is a very considerate driver, and Cam is gutsy holding on to the outside, and this might actually allow Dubman to make a little bit of a move himself. Luke Brax with the fastest lap, and DRS is now enabled. Going from the front, we've got Flex. Followed by Luke Brax, Sheer Insanity, Ian Brax, Balzac, and then the fights begin at Camborne. Cam leaves Rawro making a move around the outside this time. Here we go. And he's able to get the smoother line. The outside line is so good at turn 2, you can really get the power delivery down. And now Dubman is right behind Cam, Gonna see what he can do here. Meanwhile, Fiji just behind. Here we go, up the inside. Oh, and what a move by Fiji Tomo! He came out of nowhere. Camborne goes wide and loses 3 positions in very few corners. My goodness, it's just a traffic jam here. Oh goodness, and that's a McLaren off as Balzac tumbling down the positions here. Dubman himself a little bit wide, and now Cam fighting his way back around 2 more as Cam makes his way through on Nameless Nate. Nameless pops in behind, and Kenny LaFleur pulling back to his starting position. Goodness, just when it seemed like everything was starting to calm down, everything goes absolutely berserk. Dubman himself into the pits. And let's have a look at this. T. Goldie chasing down Kenny LaFleur as we're right in a big group. All of these guys following in the trail of Rauercopter. So that's Fiji right behind him, who's up 9 positions. What a brilliant start from him. Oh, and he's up the inside. I was looking to the side for just a moment, and that's all it takes. But Rauro is able to hold on to it. Man, he is just so aggressive right now, really pushing these medium tires to the absolute limit. He's up the inside, and there's nothing Rauro can do. Fiji is on an absolute tear right now, but now, here we go, as we have the Aston Martin trying to fight back around the outside through Sector 2, but it's not going to happen. Jail Patel now getting right into here, seeing if he can do anything. Camborne is being pursued by Nameless Nate just a short ways behind. Wow, what some racing this is. We're down just 1 driver so far. Fastest lap from Sheer Insanity, who is not letting Flex get away up in the lead. Here we are with Flex, by the way. That's Sheer behind and Luke Brax. Then we've got a bit of a gap to Ian, and then a larger gap to Fiji, who is the leader of this midfield. It's not a battle. It's a brawl. Look at this group, this merry crew. We've got Nameless Nate fighting up the inside of Jail Patel. Can Jail hold it on the outside, or is Nate going to be able to take it up the inside? Yes, he is. Nameless Nate. Oh, but Jail Patel is able to get better power delivery, and they're racing, continuing side by side in towards turn 3. They're just not giving up a thing here. We've got an outside line again, and Camborne now trying to make a move on Nate here. It looks like Nate's suddenly shifted from fighting the car ahead to now working to defend from the car behind, as Camborne is working to get back these positions that he has lost from that fight earlier. Rauro is getting harassed mercilessly by Fiji Tomo. Just behind, we've got Taylor Funk and T. Goldie into the wall. He's had to have a change already, and he's going to have to change his wing again for that, as Balzac and Red Baron are likely to make their way through here. Yes, and there he is, making his way into the pits. Rauro leading ahead of Fiji Tomo and J.L. Patel. Oh, goodness! That is Taylor Funk, who is near the back of this. T. Goldie picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Does Taylor Funk have any further damages? Balzac is able to recover ahead, and now Red Baron goes around the outside. Fiji Tomo has lost a little bit of ground to Rauro here, and now J.L. Patel's bringing the fight to Fiji, but he can't do anything with Nameless Nate right behind J.L. Patel. What a fight! What a fight! You love to see it, don't you? These guys just not giving a single inch to any of their rivals at all. Camborne, meanwhile, right on the back of Kenny LaFleur. We're going to see if he can make anything of that. The battles could be breaking out absolutely anywhere here. Flex is continuing to lead, but he's got both of his opponents behind him within DRS range of each other. So the top 3 are in a close fight here. Have a look at this. This trio is currently battling for the podium positions. Further back, we have Rauro. Looking back from him, we can see Fiji Tomo is leading just ahead of J.L. Patel, but Jay is now making a move of his own as he goes up the inside. Late braking, and he takes the position. Fiji is knocked down to 7th place, but does he have a better run? Jay is going to be a little bit aggressive here. They're both fighting on the medium tires, but Jay's got very, very nice power to play here. Further back, we've got some battling with Balzac and Red Baron, but Red Baron's able to come out on top there. Continuing side-by-side battling here, J.L. Patel and Fiji Tomo, they're side-by-side. Oh, so much trust, so much bravery here. And Fiji is able to take the position, but he doesn't quite slam the door on Jay, and that possibly allows Jay to have a moment, but Jay had to take a compromised line there regardless. Further back, we've got a fantastic battle that I want to draw your attention to. Have a look at this. We've got Balzac right on the back of Red Baron, wanting to chase that guy down, but I think we need to take a moment to actually look because we have a real fight on our hands up at the front of this race. Flex leading Sheer Insanity. Sheer Insanity making a move up the inside for the lead of the race, and I think this is going to take it. Sheer gone from second up to first. Flex demoted as Sheer Insanity is able to take this. Now, is Luke Brax going to be able to make anything happen here? Luke Brax is right on the back diffuser of Flex. Up the inside, here we go. Flex breaks a little bit later, but Luke is up the inside. Is Flex going to be able to get power delivery? No, he's not, and you can see the front wing of Luke Brax leaning out there, but he's staying in it. He's not giving up this position at all as they go side by side, making their way through. Yellow flag in sector, that's Red Baron. But we cannot tear our eyes away from this fight for second place. Have a look as Luke Brax finally has to back off of his assault on Kenny. I think it's time for us to start having a little bit of a look at our telemetry here because we need to see where these guys are in terms of their power delivery. Nameless Nate has had a crash here, and that's going to allow Balzac to get caught back up towards him. There's a virtual safety car out, but it's not going to last that long. Oh, interesting. Camborne is taking advantage of this to take a pit stop under the VSC. This could be a huge advantage. He is so far the only driver to do it. Nameless Nate also coming in. Balzac not doing it, nor is Taylor Funk. Definitely an odd moment for that. Well, that's the effect of us turning back on medium safety car. The game is very jumpy with the safety cars. So we've got a brief moment to calm down and gather exactly where we are. Let's have a look at where Camborne's coming out here, but he is ahead of Red Baron, behind Taylor Funk. Nameless Nate making his way out, and T Goldie coming through, but of course, as this is virtual, oh yeah, and we're re-beginning again. So we've got a battle here for versus Sheer Insanity leads off Flex. Further back, there's a battle with Taylor Funk and Balzac, but we're going to keep our eyes on the lead right now. Sheer leads Flex, Flex leads Luke. As sheer as you please. So let's see what Luke Brax can make of this. He is saving up. He's got a lot of energy available here. And this is a perfectly reasonable place for some aggressive power use. So further back, it looks like the big midfield battle from Ian Brax backwards has started to break up a little bit as everyone is slipping outside of DRS range of each other. Balzac, meanwhile, is continuing to fend off Taylor Funk. And we'll see how long he's able to do that. Here we go. Flex taking a little peek on Sheer Insanity. But Luke is right behind Flex. Let's just take a moment and watch this cinematically. That's not cinematic. This is cinematic. There we go. Oh, here we go. Big moment here. And that is a pit stop for Flex. That's really going to break up the fight for the lead, so let's take a moment to watch this fight that I've been watching on the timing screens. It's Taylor Funk chasing down Balzac. Taylor Funk, keep in mind, he is on the medium tires, Balzac is on the softs. So Balzac's tires are going to be wearing out. They're going to be coming out just behind Flex, who is coming out right now. Up the inside, and Taylor Funk is able to take the position. Is Balzac going to be able to get a cutback? The power's on. Is there enough life left in these softs? Balzac certainly has a lot of power to work with, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it back. Meanwhile, further ahead, we've got Luke Brax now following Sheer Insanity, and we're going to see how long they want to drag out these soft tires. It's likely to be a one-stop strategy. Oh, we're still getting some battling here. Taylor Funk still holding off Balzac. And there, with a little bit of a awkward... Oh, that's big. Ian Brax picks up a time penalty. This is going to be good for Raro. Is there going to be a pit in here? Yes! Ian Brax into the pits. And with that, Raro takes position. Further back... Oh! Flex! Oh, this is big. This is a big moment for the race, as Flex has had a spin. I don't think that his vehicle is damaged, but that's going to be a big cost in time. I don't know if either of his rivals are looking at the screens close enough to know that that's just happened, but this is a huge moment for the effective lead of the race. Ian Brax making his way out of the pit lane right now. Let's have a look as he makes his way out. We've got Flex coming through, but Flex is going to find himself behind the Alpine of Ian Brax. Oh, and Flex, he might just be tilted just a little bit after that mistake. He doesn't need to, though. All Flex needs to do is keep on scoring these reliable points, and he's looking very good for the championship. Further ahead, we've got Kenny LaFleur, who's leading his teammate Jayol Patel. And let me give a hat off, by the way, to Fiji Dumo, just a little ways ahead. Have a look at this guy. He is up 11 positions. So we're starting to get into the point where we're going to expect to see drivers taking off their softs in the next couple of laps, and we've just lost Dubman himself. And that is a safety car. Oh, this is going to be big. What's happening with Raro? He's already through, so... Oh, here's the drivers who are going to be able to take advantage. Balzac making his way into the pits. We've currently got the safety car Xing, but Balzac is so far the only driver to take advantage of this. Right behind him is Red Baron. This is going to be big for these two. They're going to be able to put themselves right on even with the guys who've done a much more typical strategy here. Nameless Nate as well coming in to lose his softs, put on some mediums, or perhaps hards, depending on preference. I think he could take mediums here. So with the crash of Dubman himself, we now find Sheer, Luke, and Raro leading, and here we go. These guys are going to want to get into the pit lane. Oh no! Bad moment for Kenny LaFleur. PLO, we have indeed cursed the man. Sheer Insanity in. Luke Braxton, Raro in. So let's see what happens with these drivers as they make their way out. Looks like Sheer's going to hold on to his lead for the moment. Is Fiji doing anything? Fiji is staying out on the mediums. Bold move. But that is going to give him the lead of this race right now. But he is right ahead of Sheer Insanity, who is on 13-lap younger tire. Taylor Funk makes his way through as well, doing the same thing as Fiji. So we've got Fiji, Kenny, and Taylor, all of whom are going to not be changing their tires just yet. Also, all of them on the mediums thinking, hey, you know, I can run a little bit longer. If there's another safety car, this could be a coup for them. Meanwhile, Camborne, who pitted a little bit earlier, finds himself in a pretty nice position here. Of the people who have recently pitted, we've got Sheer leading Luke, leading Camborne. So Cam might be on course for an effective third on track. Yeah, I noticed that about Red Baron. So he's going to be doing a basically a gamble for a second pit stop. But if that's the case, it's very odd that he didn't go medium soft. It's entirely possible that he just moved really fast and didn't set up the optimal strategy that he was planning. Also, it looks like Taylor Funk might be desynced or disconnected at the moment. We're not entirely sure, but let's have a look at our group that we have here right now. Since we won't be having them going up, we've got at least one more lap under this safety car. Whoa. So we've got Fiji Domo leading. Oh, and that's big. There we go. Kenny LaFleur diving into the pits, but oh, that's going to throw him all the way down to the back. Indecision from Kenny. So Sheer in second, Luke Brax, Taylor Funk in fourth, Camborne in fifth, Raro, Ian Brax, Flex, Jayol Patel, Balzac, T. Goldie, Red Baron, Kenny LaFleur coming out almost but not quite dead last, ahead of only Nameless Nate. So now there's only two drivers who are still on their starting tires, and that's Fiji in first and Taylor Funk in fourth place. This should be the last lap under the safety car. And let's take a moment to gather. Yes, so Red Baron is going to have to make another pit stop. Jayol Patel going on to the softs. He might be doing the medium. He might be doing another set of softs after this. That would probably be the move. So the drivers all working on saving up what they can, because next lap we are going to be racing, and it's going to be Fijidomo leading it out. So right now, it's all about what's going to happen with the safety cars. We know that Fiji is gambling on something that's either going to give him a bit of a gap so that he can pit later, or something that will perhaps just allow him to take another free pit stop. Oh! Whoa! Fiji! What? Fiji's been Whoa! What a bizarre situation. Ignoring a yellow flag? I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but that allows Sheer Insanity to move through into the lead, and we're not going to ever get to see what was going to happen with Fiji. So Sheer leads ahead of Ian Brax, Luke Brax, and Taylor Funk. It's a tight group here. Further back, we've got Balzac, then Red Baron T. Goldie's wide, and Nameless Nate coming through with Kenny LaFleur right behind him. And then up on the inside, it's Flex, who is in last place, although he's just gotten through on T. Goldie right now. Camborne now, battling high here. I can drag you into commentary if you'd like. So we've got Kenny and J.O. Patel fighting. Kenny is pitting now. Does he have damage? He must. So Sheer Insanity now leading. He's leading Ian Brax and Luke Brax. Luke is right on Ian's tail, and I can imagine that they might be swapping positions soon. They are noted for their teamwork. Yeah, I don't understand how you could have made an illegal overtake unless you overtook the safety car, perhaps. So there's some aggression here from Camborne, diving up the inside of Taylor Funk. So is that a okay, yeah, sure, drag me into broadcasting? Or is that an okay, that just happened? Oh, yellow flag in Sector 3, what's that? Alright, DRS is enabled. And Sheer Insanity coming in for... pardon me? Did I somehow just miss that? I was so busy trying to work things out, I was not paying proper attention to the race and missed some critical moments right there. As Sheer spins out of the race, Balzac with a big barge on Taylor Funk there, which cost him a couple of positions. So, we now have Luke Brax, who's leading the race ahead of Ian Brax. We've got Sheer Insanity, who's now back with Flex. Well, actually, Flex finds himself in a slightly worse off position, actually. But we've got a fight here between Balzac and... Oh no, Railroad! Is he going to keep his car intact? He's ghosted, but he just slid sideways. That's just going to be a vicious flat spot. And Railroad loses a couple of positions there. And I'm bringing in Fiji Domo. Hey, Fiji. Good to see you. Really sorry that happened. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Was it an overtake on the safety car or something? Since you were in first place at the moment, albeit without having made your mandatory pit stop yet.
I am not sure. I've never been in the lead like that with the safety car, and I saw he was going in, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I stepped on it, and then I just got an illegal overtake, give the position back, and it just I took control.
Huh, that's, yeah, so, like, normally I think the move is to stay back from the safety car, so did you overtake the safety car as soon as it started to get ready to pull in?
I think that must have been what it was.
Yeah,
Because I was
that
like
probably.
alongside of it. I was like
Oh
alongside while I was
yeah,
going in
yeah.
there.
That would be it. We've got. By the way, Sheer Insanity is disconnected right now. It seems, and oh my goodness, he was looking so strong for so much of this race, but now he's disconnected and tumbling down through the positions, which is always rough to see. We're having some real misfortune hitting people. Yeah, PLL points out the safety car probably hadn't passed the pit lane yet, and you have to basically form a bit of a gap to the safety car before you take out the cars. So my guess is that you overtook the safety car and then crossed the restart line before the safety car had formally removed itself from the race.
I think that's what it was. That's
So,
yeah.
situation in the race right now, though, we have really reignited that mid-pack battle that you were just right knees deep in earlier, Fiji, but we've got Nameless Nate in 6th right behind Taylor Funk right now going through Sector 2.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting first little 5 laps. Very fun.
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell us a bit about it, since that was wild to see.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, all right, locking in, focusing. I was like, because that's my best track. Probably Austria is my best track. So I was like, okay, I'm hoping to, since I'm basically mid off quality, hoping to at least get to the points. And it just places started opening up, little slits here and there, and I was slipping by. I brake extremely deep on turn 3 to overtake. I think it was Jay Patal and
Yeah.
I'm not sure who else it was. I kind of ran into
You
him
did
though,
a double
but I went
overtake at
super
one
deep.
point, and Cam went
Yeah,
wide, and then
yeah.
everyone got into a huge fight, 5 cars all together.
Yes, yes. And I was just chilling behind him. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to sit back for a little, wait for a gap to open up and just take off.
And to think, after all of that, and after Cam kind of getting just, really shaken up by everyone around him and dropping down to about 8th or 9th, he's back up in 2nd place, and he is the closest challenger to Luke Brax right now, with 15 laps left. Oh, hey, here we go. We've got Taylor Funk making his way into the pit lane. So he was the one other person who was on your strategy, Fiji, who hadn't made a stop yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was pretty worried about that too because I was like, okay, I'm going to have to go a little longer on these mediums than planned.
Although that can definitely pay off if there's going to be another safety car.
Yeah, and I was seeing so many. I was like, man, this whole race might be completely changed up with the safety cars being on.
Yeah, it was a very interesting gamble because you had the chance to maybe switch your tires, but you're thinking, you know what? So was your thought that, hey, there might be another opportunity, or maybe if I can hold on to the lead and things spread out a little bit, I can, pit back and have really fast tires at the end of the race?
Yeah, see, at first I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Let's just stay on the mediums. And I was like, wait a minute. Should I have went to the softs? Everybody's behind me. They're all I'm gonna start struggling pretty soon on the mediums. But I was like, you know what? I felt my pace was pretty fast on the mediums, so I feel like I would have caught back up with the softs. But
yeah, and of course, one of those moments, and I guess every time some technicality takes you out of a race, it's like, well, that's something that's never going to happen again.
Yeah. It just sucks because it's my favorite track, and
I love Austria.
I was really feeling confident.
It's a real hoot of a track to run.
It really is.
So, we're actually getting really spread out right now. No one is within closer than 1.3 seconds, and that's Taylor Funk, who's currently chasing down Kenny LaFleur. Taylor Funk, of course, on these fresh softs, he's going to be one of the late aggressive drivers here. So, I made a prediction. Oh, Sheer Insanity. We need to send... Oh, okay, Sheer needs an invite. Let me just get that to Sheer right now. Alright, Sheer, I've got your invite. I've sent you an invite. Tell me if you've got it. You're still in the points, my friend. You're still in the points. So Taylor Funk really hauling in Kenny LaFleur, and Kenny's going to be in some trouble here because Taylor is on the softs, and he's right on his tail with the DRS going. Here we go. Is there going to be any defense? Kenny LaFleur, lots of speed through the straight, but now there's another DRS, and here's a second run. Taylor Funk coming up. What do you think? Inside, outside? Kenny defense wide.
Let's see.
Taylor Funk holds the inside. Is Kenny going to be able to get a run? Doesn't look like it.
Ooh, some smooth acceleration up that corner.
Bad news from Sheer. F1's not restarting. Ooh. So my prediction and mine and PLL's both. Our predictions are looking pretty rough today. So my guess was going to be Flex, Sheer, and Luke. And right now, only one of those guys is looking like they're going to be on the podium today.
Oh my goodness, this race is turning out to be quite something.
Yeah, well, seeing Flex get thrown down the order with his spin there, it's been very costly for him. Oh, hang on, what's that? Nameless Nate into the pits, or rather out of the pits, as he comes up behind Kenny LaFleur, and now he's going to have some very strong late aggression. So too is T Goldie, who is just out on his first lap on soft. So let's see, I think the fight to watch is going to be what unfolds around Kenny LaFleur, because Kenny is undoubtedly going to be running strong to the end. These hards are not going to give him any trouble beyond the fact that they are in fact hards. So he's going to be really swamped by the cars around him, but he's not going to have any sort of wear problems. PLL still believes in Kenny podium. Well, hey, look at that. T Goldie in 13th place with the fastest lap of 106.442. So Nameless Nate has pulled within DRS range, and he has now got DRS on Kenny LaFleur. We'll see if he can do anything about that. Meanwhile, Red Baron, working on a recovery drive, going to see if he can maybe push his way back up towards the points. Kenny's in trouble. Nate, is he going to make a dive up inside? No, he's not going to do that this time, but he goes deep. Kenny LaFleur goes deep, and Nameless Nate is able to take the position. Those hards costing him. Have you raced very much on the hard tires here?
I have not. I have not raced at all on the hard tires.
They're painful. Have a look at how late Kenny gets onto the power and how slowly he has to take these corners. So just watch for comparison. Nameless Nate on the softs. He's just hauled away 2 seconds on him already. Pardon me, 1 second on him already.
Yeah, definitely the hards on this track are something else, especially with corners like this, because you can lose the car so easily on that corner.
Oh, absolutely. And let's point out, these guys on the softs are just lighting up the timing screen right now. Taylor Funk and Nameless Nate just nabbing T Goldie's fastest lap and running with it. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of action up here. What's this? Oh, wait, it's just the T Goldie being lapped. I saw some action on track and realized, oh, never mind, they're in fact a minute separate from each other. But right now, we've got possibly a little bit of a fight brewing for third here. Ian Brax is chasing down Cam Bourne, and Cam is on aging mediums, and there is going to be a point where the mediums start to fall off. The key question is, will it...
a big advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where PLL's calling the potential podium.
That's unfortunate for sheer insanity.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's bad luck for you, bad luck for him both. And honestly, bad luck for Flex this race. Like, Flex after an incredibly dominant series of performances, is just having a rough time of it.
Yeah, I'm not used to seeing him in the place he is now because he's normally at the top of the podium.
And that's where he was for a
extremely
big
fast.
chunk of this race. He was confidently leading, and then sheer insanity had this big pass into turn 2 on him. And now look where they are. Sheer insanity is a ghost traveling around in 13th, and Flex is just barely holding on to a points position. So this is big for Alpine. Could this be a bit of a return to form? In the preseason, Alpine were looking the guys to beat, and then they just haven't been able to show up for all these races. But when they are here, holy moly, they're cooperating and they are fast.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time since I can't remember when the last race that they were in.
The last classified race with Luke Brax was actually Monaco.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he was 4th place. Whereas Ian hasn't actually been around since Spain. So right now, we've got a couple of interesting things going on here. The big movers are still Taylor Funk and Nameless Nate. T. Goldie is pushing his way up, but he's 24 seconds off of Red Baron. I don't think he's going to be able to pull that in. And yeah, it's definitely a rough day for Sheer, especially when the game won't even let him get back in, and now his car has fallen well outside the points. Hello. Just had a loss of position there as Flex makes his way through on Taylor Funk. Yeah, I think Taylor Funk spun there because he had just been behind Nameless Nate, and then he loses position quite a bit. So yeah, that really secures Nate. Oh, and does he have damage? I think he's got some damage because yes, look at the inside of his front wing. Taylor Funk is pitting, and this suddenly puts Red Baron in the contest for points here, since these are two guys coming through on the mediums. On the hards, and they're going to be coming out just ahead of Taylor Funk. So Taylor Funk getting his new tires in right now. Here we go. He's putting on softs for a 6-lap charge, getting his new front wing in, but he's going to drop out behind Red Baron. Now it's only T. Goldie behind him, and he's going to be comfortably ahead of T. Goldie, who is a lap down on the leaders right now. Meanwhile, Flex is on the back of Kenny LaFleur, and the hards are too hard.
Yeah, especially through that middle sector.
Yeah, you just look at how much Kenny LaFleur is struggling, and on just 12-lap-old mediums, what's a guy to do? Kenny trying to break the toe, but there's not much passing here. The question is he going to be able to do anything at all as they make their way into the final straight here? On board with Flex. Is Kenny going to defend wide? Yeah, there we go. That's good defense from Kenny. He's keeping the optimal line. He's not getting himself forced into defensive line, because that's often what makes you lose a battle when you're defending on a slower tire, on a slower setup.
Yeah, that was one of my problems. That's the thing that I'm learning now, is trying to learn how to defend properly without giving, because like you were saying, yeah, giving too much defense with the lines, it slows you down so much to the point where they're going to catch you on the straight.
Yeah, watch what Kenny's doing here. Kenny is taking the optimal lines over and over and over again. And even though I think he might have just lost it there. Oh, no, he hasn't. He's holding on to the inside of it. Flex is going to try and run around the outside corner of it. But yeah, the key thing is you want to force your opponent. Oh! Nameless Nate has a little spin out there, and suddenly Flex and Kenny are 6th and 7th. But I don't see any way for Kenny to get back there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the basically forcing someone into making the awkward lines. Oh, there we go. Flex doing his little part now to prevent Kenny from catching up. And Kenny, in fact, might have a bit of an advantage with the DRS here.
Let's see.
Is there going to be a launch? I think there's going to be. No. Kenny's a bit wiser than that. Oh, here we go. A dive up the inside. Always hate when you switch to the cinematic angle and it turns out to be a little one shooting backwards at the rear tire. Alright, and I think with this, I don't think Kenny's got anything left in the tank to fight Flex. Kenny's gonna have to settle for 7th here. Nameless Nate, though, still very fast. He could potentially close 3 seconds a lap here, but it'd be hard. It'd be very hard to do. Ian Brax on Camborne! And here we go, those 23-lap-old mediums are trouble. And now the hards are finally starting to come into their own. This is the moment of the crossover, and actually Kenny might be thinking the very same thing further back, because Camborne has just been knocked down to 3rd place, and it is a double Brax podium 1-2 right now.
The Brax boys.
There we
Brax
go.
Brothers.
And Balzac also looking real nice in 4th position here. Raro very comfortable right now in 5th position. And Flex now leading Kenny, but Kenny, he's on tires that are now fighting against weakening opponents. All this race up to this point, the mediums have been faster. Oh, interesting. Luke Brax picks up a time penalty, and I think it's time for us to take a little look at the penalties, because Ian Brax actually has 8 seconds of penalties, so that's going to actually promote Balzac up onto the podium positions if things stay as they are. We've got a spin, and that's Flex! It's Flex!
Oh, no! No!
Flex has crashed out of the race, or possibly disconnected. No, his car's still in. Goodness. Flex is out of the race, out of the session.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
that is 1 point in 3 races now for Flex. Well, that is a situation, and now suddenly Taylor Funk and Red Baron both into the points, and they're having a battle right here. Taylor Funk, of course, has 6 seconds of penalties, though. But look at the speed differential as Taylor Funk just races through on Red Baron, and now he's got to see if he can build a gap or maybe force Red Baron to make a mistake so that he can get away with the fact that he has 6 seconds of penalties. So Fiji, let's take it from the top. Luke Brax leads comfortably right here. No one challenging him right now. Ian Brax is in 2nd place, but with 8 seconds of penalties, he's in fact almost at risk of falling into the clutches of Raro. Camborne is chasing in 3rd place, followed by Balzac. Raro is 4 seconds back, and Kenny actually doing alright now. He was in that battle with Flex, and he's definitely been a beneficiary of Flex's misfortune. So Flex is out. Nameless Nate now, 7th position, and he's probably at the end of what his tires can do, but no one around him has any similar penalties. JL Patel running 8th. Taylor Funk in 9th, and Red Baron falling behind Taylor Funk, but he just needs to stay within 6 seconds to hold on to 9th place. T. Goldie, a ways back, he is holding position by Camborne, so his pace, honestly, is not bad, but he's just had some misfortune that's thrown him way off the pace earlier in the race. Sheer Insanity's Ghost, honestly, is only 2 retirements away from getting into the points. So here we are, Fiji. It's the final lap. We're looking for double Brax brilliance in the hills of the Steiermark.
Yeah, when they pop out, they really, really pop out.
When they pop out, they pop off.
Exactly.
It's been a real strong showing. I've frozen. And I've crashed.
Oh, no.
My game has crashed. Woo!
What is going on with F1?
Well, yeah, huh. Alright, well, hopefully...
Refund, man.
Classic code, mister. I don't know, that's probably on me. Alright, relaunching to see if I can even get back into that race. Well,
Let's
you
hope
didn't
so.
jinx PLL. Don't worry, you didn't jinx Luke. You did predict Luke, didn't you? Wait, hang on. I could have sworn you predicted Luke on the podium. You predicted Kenny, Flex, and Sheer.
Wow, what a race! That was something else.
I'm gonna see if I can
Camborne
get
gets
back
driver of
in
the
just
day.
to see the end of it. Although I imagine we're watching the podium right now. Session in progress. Well, let me join and watch. Alright,
Yeah,
so,
that's podium.
Fiji, why don't you read out the finishing positions, my friend?
All right, so on the podium, we have Luke Brax, Camborne, Raro in third place, Ian Brax in fourth place, Balzac in fifth, Kenny LaFleur, Nameless Nate, Jail Patel, Taylor Funk, Red Baron, T Goldie, the Ghost of Sheer Insanity, also Flex, and the last.
So Ian had a big heap
It
of
went
penalties, PLL. So he just got hurled straight into the Shadow Realm by 8 seconds of penalties, and Ravro had enough pace to be closing on Ian towards the end, so he got within the 8-second window. So he lost 3 positions at the end from penalties, which threw him off the podium. So while they were 1-2 on track, they were 1-5 with penalties accounted for. Alright, well, this has been a very interesting and slightly glitchy production from FRL, but I'd like to give a big thanks to Fiji for dropping into casting with me. Really sorry about what happened on the safety car. That sucks, but you know.
It's all good. It happens.
Things happen.
I'm just waiting one day for that podium.
Hey man, well, you showed some really impressive stuff, and you put on an entertaining show. I'm sure you're gonna love seeing it. You can watch it on the replay on twitch.tv/Formula Racing League _ because some other guy has Formula Racing League. And it's also going to be up on our YouTube.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Hey,
Still
thank
very
you.
fun to watch. Love
So
it.
this has been Chaos with Fiji Domo signing off for FRL. We'll be racing on Mondays, and we run community nights on the Thursdays. So catch all you guys later this week and in future broadcasts.
Alrighty. Goodbye.